Well, greetings, you two model people. How's it going? Okay, coming at you here with a response video to a series of questions that were posed by YouTube community member would be car modeler. And basically, yeah, he asked some questions regarding a model builder's kit stash, kit collection. And that's always a fun topic, and it comes up every so often in the community, wherever you are, maybe on the Facebook or out here on YouTube. And it's always fun to kind of see where everyone's at and see what people say and what their responses are. And so, yeah, we're going to get right into the questions that were posed. Let me just say right off the bat that this picture we're kind of looking at here is not my model kit stash. This is just one off the internet somewhere, just at random, to give you guys something to look at because I'm actually not at home right now. I'm at my mom's house. But it's interesting about this picture is this right here, it looks like to be the ceiling. And here's the kits right up to the ceiling here. So that's quite, quite interesting. Also, unfortunately, I really, even if I was at home, wouldn't really be able to show you my entire kit stash for a number of reasons. But really, the main reason is I keep them all boxed away. Used to be in cardboard boxes, as many of you have seen who watch my channel regularly. I recently kind of upgraded things and did a whole overhaul of my hobby room, and still working on it, by the way. And took all the kits out of cardboard boxes and replaced them with plastic bins, and then labeled each bin with everything that's in them. So really, the different sizes and shapes of the boxes, which you can even see in this very simple collection, or part of a collection, I imagine, that they're all a different size, and get the configuration right to get them all to fit in the plastic bin took some effort. So to take all them out to show them and then put them all back would be one heck of an effort. But anyway, all that aside, so yeah, here we go. We're going to get right into the questions. So yep, the first one is pretty obvious. It basically says, "Do you keep a model stash?" And obviously the answer is yes, I do. How extensive is your stash or collection, I guess, too? But mine is currently 163 kits on paper, which basically means I have a few that I bought recently that I did not put on my sheet just yet, because I do keep a spreadsheet on a computer of all the kits, unbuilt kits that I have in the stash. So, and it's also broken down by genre too in a separate column, so I can kind of say, I feel like basically building this or that. I'm going to go into that genre. I could see what I have in the stash if I forgot, which I kind of know what I have. But every now and again, I see one that I kind of forgot I had. So that's kind of cool way to look at the stash on before even touching it. So yeah, so I have about 163, and really it's not a tremendous amount, but again, it's not five or six or eight kits either, or even 20. So the other one is, how big will your stash get? And the questionnaire is, sadly, I kind of passed the one kind of hopefully cutoff point that I was shooting for, which was 100 kits. I wanted to kind of cap things off, whether it was 103, 106, and then or 92 or 95 kits. I was trying to stay around 100, and here we are at 163 already. So the new goal is, and I'm going to really try to stay true to this one, is 150. I'm going to try to keep the kit stash to as close to 150 as I can. So again, a new kind of goal that I set just fairly recently, maybe back in the early part of this year. So we'll see how we do with that. And then one of the other questions that would-be car modeler asked was, do you plan or can you complete them all? And the questionnaire is probably not. And the only reason I say that is because for every one that I complete, I'm not the quickest builder in the world. I buy a couple. So, and I'm definitely a little bit on the slower side of building. But truth be told, if I was able to continue building at the rate that I do every year and retire like I'm planning in 7 years, I could probably catch up. But again, I'd have to kind of hold that stash to 150 and no more, and maybe I could catch up in a number of years. But it would take some time, that's for sure. So I'm thinking I probably won't be able to catch up 100%. What's interesting too about my stash is most of the kits in the stash, having just, again, kind of taken almost every one of the kits and repackaged them into containers, plastic containers. Most of them I would, don't really want to part with. They're all were good choices. I didn't just buy random stuff. So each purchase had some thought behind it because there really isn't too much in there I would toss aside and say I'm not interested in building. I would say if I was really tough, I'd say maybe fewer than 10 of the collection I would be willing to part with and say, yeah, I probably won't build that. So the other thing I wanted to mention too, those are basically questions. So thanks so much for the questions. A very cool, again, topic and some great questions. So another side note is I've been going to model shows and contests for a number of years now. It really did ignite a great interest in this hobby. I always did kind of enjoy this hobby. I was HO scale trains before this, but always built more models and scenery than I had trains when I had the HO scale trains. So again, there was always something about model building I enjoyed. Then, of course, it was structures and water towers and bridges and things instead of cars, trucks, tanks, and planes like we do now. But basically, so I've been going to shows for a while, and it ignited this interest in model building even more. So I've been to about 63, 64 model shows and contests over the years. And one thing that came up more than once, but only a couple of times, was I got talking about, kit stashes with somebody at a show, fellow model builder, and they said, well, you know what? We kind of look at a project, whether it's in a store, an unbuilt kit, or whether it's at a show like this, at a vendor table, or online even, and we kind of already, formulate in our minds what we would do with it before we actually buy it a lot of times. I mean, yeah, there's some of those that are, kits that you say, oh my God, I can't believe there's a kit of that, and you just pick it up right away, you don't even think. But a lot of times we kind of ponder a little and look it over and say, yeah, I would do this, and I'd maybe put it in this color scheme or camo scheme if it's military, or decal markings or whatever. So in a way, he goes, even if you have 300 kits, you kind of in your mind already, see them kind of built already, in a way. And I kind of thought that made sense, to a certain degree for a lot of people. So the other thing I've told, real quick story, and I'm sorry to keep blabbing on here, guys. Trying to keep this under 10 minutes, which, for over 7 minutes already, so I apologize. But again, it is a fun topic. But real quick, I did decide one year to have my father come along to a model show contest nearby where he lives, and I thought he would enjoy it, and he did. So they had a little area like they typically do set aside where you can buy some basic lunch and take a break from the show and have some lunch. And we were sitting there, and then a model builder sat next to us, a complete stranger to us. And my father happened to notice he had a big bag there with about 7 unbuilt model kits that he had just bought at the show. And my father, being curious as he is, asked him, he said, gee, he goes, do you plan to build all those kits? He goes, that looks like quite a few. He goes, along with the other 350 or so that I have, it's not really that many. And he goes, wow. He goes, why do you buy all those kits? And he had a very simple answer to the model builder. He said, because I can. So if there's any reason maybe someone has a stash, is if posed the question, why do you have so many kits? They may just say to you, because I can. And there's certainly nothing wrong with that. It's certainly a fun, harmless thing. I guess it could be addicting if you're not careful, but I think most people just do it for fun, and it's just another part of the hobby. So again, thank you again, Would-Be Car Modeler, for bringing this up. Really do appreciate it, and I invite you all to go check out his channel. As I said, he does some good, cool stuff, and we'll be talking to you later. Okay, cheers.